Government has lost over 2 billion rands in the 2023-2024 financial year due to civil claims over wrongful arrests. This was revealed by Police Minister Senzo Mchunu in a response to a written parliamentary question from Rise Mzansi's National Assembly Caucus Whip Mahashule Ghana. Ghana joins me now for a discussion. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Ghana. Thanks very much for your time. Give us a bit of background, perhaps, to your question, just how it came about.
Thanks very much for your good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to the Newsroom Africa viewers. So the background to the question is that when we do our work, even when we're doing the campaigning, when we're interacting with communities, these are some of the questions that come in terms of people being arrested, without any valid reasons and kept in jail for a long time without any prospect of ever being brought to court, and which leads to people, when they are released from jail, then suing the state for wrongful arrest. So what I was trying to establish from the police was to understand the extent to which this wrongful arrest, the prevalence of wrongful arrest within the police is, and the response from the minister was that over 4,000 cases or 4,000 individuals in South Africa have been wrongfully arrested, and those that have been able to lodge claims, the claims go over 2 billion rands. These are the claims that have been submitted against the police for wrongful arrest. So this is something that is very concerning, because when you look at it, part of the contributing factors in keeping people longer in jail that should not be in jail is the lack of investigative capacity. I have raised before, and it was a response from the minister, that South Africa has got a shortage of over 8,500 detectives. So if there's not enough of proper investigation that happens, wrong people are kept in jail, and when they are released and there's no charge, then they sue the state, and for only one financial year, the figure that the state has been sued for exceeds 2 billion rands.
Over 4,000 wrongful arrests, as you point out, leading to claims exceeding 2.2 billion rands. Concerning, you say, but did that answer come as a surprise to you?
I did not expect the amount to be going into billions. I knew that the number of cases in terms of settlements, I was expecting a figure lower than that, and also in terms of wrongful arrests. So this figure, it's very, very concerning, and even the minister, the new minister, that does concede that this thing needs to be brought to a low, so that you don't have a continuation of wrongful arrest, because effectively what happens is that you are bleeding the money that's supposed to appoint more police officers, the money that's supposed to employ more detectives. It's going to almost correct the errors of the current police officials when they arrest wrong people that shouldn't be in jail, and they end up spending long time in jail.
What are you going to do with the information?
So next week, the minister and the police top brass are appearing before the portfolio committee. I've already spoken to the portfolio committee chairperson that one of the issues that must be kept on the agenda of the portfolio committee on a monthly and a quarterly basis is a report in terms of wrongful arrest, but also the amount of money that the state is paying out as a result of wrongful arrest, because we're almost there's a leakage. So the money is there, but it's not being used to keep South Africans safe. It's used to correct or to bail out the officers that just go and arrest people that shouldn't be arrested.
Just before I let you go, I just want to take you back to something you said yesterday, and I want to understand whether I got you correctly. The leader of the EFF yesterday tabled a proposal of an ad hoc committee to probe extortion crimes, and
Yes.
you were opposed to that, saying that the portfolio committee can deal with this matter, and you argued that the composition of the committee, which is a multi-party committee, takes into account or is representative. I don't know if I'm summing you up correctly.
Yes, you are. So what I argued against the motion that the leader of the EFF had tabled is that the 7th Parliament has just started. We have just constituted the Police Portfolio Committee. As the Portfolio Committee on Police, we assist with the matter of extortion. I mean, like next week, on the agenda of the Portfolio Committee, the big item it's around this particular matter. So I'm saying we have just established a Portfolio Committee now. Let's allow the Portfolio Committee to deal with this matter. And because whilst one accepts that there's an escalation in the incidences of extortion, to break these extortion rings is not a short term. You can't do it in like a 2-3 months thing. It needs a permanent committee to look at it on an ongoing basis. And that permanent committee exists in Parliament. That permanent committee is the Portfolio Committee on Police. An ad hoc committee that was being proposed was going to come to an end in November of this year. And that's something that we are saying as Rise Mzansi, that particular work can best be done in the Police Portfolio Committee, which includes members. It has got members of the ANC, members of MK, members of the EFF, GA, and everyone else. We are all in there. Unless, and this is the point that I raised, unless as part of the motion was to say that maybe the representatives that we have sent into the Police Portfolio Committee, they are inadequate, that we need to beef up or maybe substitute.
Well, I may have misunderstood it, but the nub of the argument it was that an ad hoc committee would focus on this issue, which everyone has shown a spotlight on, and which many people have argued is crippling our economy, but also leading to disastrous and very dangerous, having very serious repercussions for, life and limb, but also property in this country. Yes. The argument being made is that an ad hoc committee would focus solely on this matter, and within a very short space of time be able to get everything, or whoever has any evidence within a very short space of time, bring that to light, and then recommendations would be made on which Parliament would act. So it was more the focus, the time is going to take, the focus it's going to have on a very urgent issue, which everybody agrees is the case with this one. So it wasn't about representativity. It wasn't about taking away the work, but this was also an acknowledgement that the Portfolio Committee on Police deals with a whole host of issues, whereas an ad hoc committee would deal specifically with this issue within a very short space of time.
But you must understand that the Portfolio Committee deals with a whole host of issues, because even extortion is not a one-dimensional issue. Even when you say you are dealing with that issue, you'll have to deal with the other issues connected within the Portfolio Committee. And that's why ourselves as Rise Mzansi also, together with other parties, whether the DA, the ANC, and others, the IFP, we say that no, the Portfolio Committee on Police is adequately constituted to be able to look at this matter. That's what we are saying. That's why I said earlier that even next week the Portfolio Committee is starting to deal with this work, because if you start removing this particular work from the Portfolio Committee at the start of the parliamentary term, then you are basically showing it's a vote of no confidence in the ability of the Portfolio Committee to do its work, and we can't treat this. It's a very important issue that we say it needs a long-term committee. It almost needs a permanent committee to look at it, and that permanent committee is a portfolio committee on police.
And this has got nothing to do with who you're friends with and who you're enemies with in the National Assembly.
When I'm in the National Assembly, I'm here to represent South Africans. When I argue my point, I don't argue it depending on where it comes from. I argue it based on, given what the facts before us, what is the best thing that needs to be done? And at this moment, I'm not convinced that that particular motion, it's in the best interest of Parliament or the people of South Africa.
Makashule Ghana, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.